Recap in minutes. In today's video, we will be enjoying an action drama war film, entitled 71, Into the Fire. There will be spoilers ahead, chill out and enjoy. The movie begins in a war zone, with North Korea pursuing Young Deok in North Gyeongsang province. South Korean student soldier Oh Jang-bom receives orders to provide more ammunition to the 3rd platoon, defending a store rooftop. He obeys but appears to be struggling due to his lack of experience and skill. Meanwhile, Major Park Moo-rang leads additional North Korean forces into Young Deok. Captain Kang Sok-dae and his men are the last of the 3rd platoon. They have orders to retreat, but the captain is determined to defeat the enemies. Lieutenant Kim Jun-seop obeys Captain Kang's order to support the 3rd platoon. Around the same time, Jang-bom appears on the store's rooftop and hands the ammunition to the soldiers. Shortly after he leaves, an explosion occurs on the store rooftop, killing the 3rd platoon. Lieutenant Kim drags Jang-bom to the side and hands him a grenade. They rush to avoid the attacks with a few remaining soldiers, firing gunshots. While Lieutenant Kim and the other soldiers shoot, Jang-bom remains in the corner, consumed by fear and terror. A North Korean suddenly shoots and stabs the lieutenant. Jang-bom is unable to save him due to his inexperience and fear. Another South Korean soldier shoots him in his place. Other South Koreans discover them, and they barely make it onto one of the last trucks leaving town for Pohang. The battle concludes with Major Park and his troops successfully capturing Young Deok. Their political party leader orders Major Park to go to battle at the Nakdong River right away. He disregards this order and intends to travel directly to Pohang. Meanwhile, in Pohang, Captain Kang obeys the commander's order to blow up the bridge connecting Pohang and Yongdeok, abandoning the refugees. The truck transports critically injured South Korean soldiers to their command post inside Pohang Girls' Middle School. Jang-bom follows the critically injured Lieutenant Kim to the medical team, where he tragically dies. As they remove Lieutenant Kim's body from the ward, Jang-bom overcomes it with guilt. A nurse arrives to assist him and treat his wounds, not his ruptured eardrum. Captain Kang later storms into the command center and confronts the commander angrily about the tragic deaths and forced retreats caused by the failure to send backups. However, the commander reasons it is because the soldiers they have left are defending their last line of defense, the Nakdong River, until the United Nations allied forces arrive. The volunteer student soldiers arrive the next day. Koo Kap-jo, a convicted juvenile, is one of them. They give each student soldier a rifle and 250 rounds, divided into 2 platoons that function as a single unit. Captain Kang appoints Jang-bom as their captain and orders them to stand guard in Pohang while the other soldiers fight at the Nakdong River. The South Korean forces, as well as the medical team, leave immediately. Jang-bom is given a box of medical supplies and first aid instructions by the nurse. Simultaneously, Major Park and the rest of the North Korean troops are making their way toward Pohang. They arrive at the now demolished bridge and discuss various river crossing options. Major Park directs the shock team to swim across the mountain unarmed while the tank unit circles the mountain. The student soldiers swarm over the box of food supplies and pocket knives after Captain Kang and the troops leave. Jang-bom, on the other hand, continues to doubt his ability to lead. However, he directs the attention of the student soldiers to carry out Captain Kang's orders to bury the dead. Kap-jo refuses and, unlike the other student soldiers, openly questions Jang-bom's authority. They train themselves quickly with the resources left, despite the ongoing conflict between Jang-bom and Kap-jo. Kap-jo and his 2 friends, Wang Pyo and Pung Chun, hang out by the pantry while resting. After discovering an unused grenade, they unintentionally blow up the entire area, destroying all food supplies. Jang-bom interrupts Kap-jo and tells him to stay out of it. Later that evening, Jang-bom settles in one of the classrooms and writes letters to his mother about his feelings and military experiences. Then he instructs the 2 platoons to retire to bed. At the same time, 2 student soldiers patrol the perimeter of the school. A few North Korean soldiers arrive in the area in the middle of the night. Despite their reckless shooting, the student soldiers kill them. The next day, they return to the forest to gather more food and other resources. Jang-bom notices Kap-jo smoking and quickly extinguishes it, which irritates Kap-jo. A North Korean sniper fires a series of shots during their argument, killing Wang Pyo and a few student soldiers. Kap-jo, enraged, pursues the North Korean sniper, forcing Jang-bom and the others to follow. A group of North Korean soldiers ambushes them as they follow the sniper down the meadows. They return to the school, suffering heavy casualties. With 16 deaths, 5 injuries, and 1 missing, North Korean forces capture one of the student soldiers, Dal Young. Jang Bom decides to contact Captain Kang at the Nakdong River and report their current situation in the hopes that they will send a backup. At the same time, the battle at the Nakdong River is taking place. While defending against the North, a few U.S. troops accompany South Korean forces. Captain Kang notifies the commander of the North's 5th Division's movement toward Pohang and requests reinforcements for the student soldiers. On the other hand, the commander has already decided to sacrifice the student soldiers for the greater good of defending the Nakdong River. A commander interrogates an injured Dal Young at the North Korean camp. When Major Park sees this, he shows mercy to the South Korean student soldier. He returns Dal Young to school with a white flag and confronts their captain. Major Park informs Jang Bom that the school will be attacked and captured in 2 hours. He offers to save them in exchange for raising a white flag in surrender to Pohang. Major Park then leaves to let them decide. Captain Kang successfully convinces their commander to send at least 10 men, including himself, to support the student soldiers at the Nakdong River. They consult with the commander of the U.S. troops, who informs them that there are not enough American troops to spare. The American commander provides the North Korean tanks with a new line of super bazookas to stop them. Captain Kang immediately departs for Pohang. Major Park orders the forces to establish a defensive line 1 kilometer from the school, but without firing. Across them, South Korean student soldiers bravely prepare to fight the North's 5th Division, their South Korean national flag proudly raised on the school's flagpole. Jang Bom informs everyone that Captain Kang is on his way and that they only have 1 hour to hold out. He overcomes his apprehension and speaks up, successfully boosting their morale. Cap Jo and Chang Woo are walking through the forest toward a North Korean supply truck with 2 struggling North Korean student soldiers. Cap Jo and Chang Woo say they are friends and help them get the truck out of the muddy ditch. Cap Jo looks at the weapons and supplies in the truck because he wants to steal them. The South Korean student soldiers take their positions as the North's 5th Division approaches. The 1st platoon is in charge of firing cannons from the ground floor, while the 2nd platoon shoots from the 2nd floor. Enraged by their decision to attack, Major Park decided to launch a full-scale assault on the student soldiers. He directs his soldiers to execute all of them. In Pohang, the battle begins, and the North Korean army rushes toward the school. As the North Koreans approach, they wait for Jang Bom's signal before removing the pins from their prepared grenades. With their remaining rounds, the 1st platoon fires their guns in a more orderly manner against the enemy forces. The 2nd platoon then fires, wounding their opponents. As the North allows its tank unit to continue firing, it hits the school, killing more student soldiers. One of the student soldiers grabs the grenades and heroically enters the tank, blowing it up with him. Jang Bom orders his remaining soldiers to retreat inside the school as more North Korean tanks approach. Suddenly, Cap Jo and Chang Woo arrive at the location of the stolen truck loaded with weapons. Jang Bom takes some ammunition and begins firing while the other student soldiers set the guns on the roof. The North Korean men enter the school and disperse across the halls. While Cap Jo and Jang Bom briefly retreat into a classroom to tend to their wounds, Jang Bom discovers that Cap Jo never attended school. They eventually reconcile their differences and encourage one another. Returning to the fight quickly, the 2 soldiers continue to fire on the North Korean soldiers. When Cap Jo is about to be shot from behind, Dal Young steps in to protect him and takes the shots for him. Cap Jo, enraged, mercilessly shoots the enemies. He and Jang Bom struggle to reach the school's rooftop on time. The surviving student soldiers climb the stairs with gas canisters and petrol bombs, but the North Korean soldiers shoot them mercilessly. Chang Woo, despite his injuries, manages to pour the gasoline down the stairs, igniting the corridors. Finally, Captain Kang and his backup arrive and witness the conflict within the school. He disables a tank belonging to the North with a bazooka. Major Park and the commander become aware of the presence of an additional enemy troop. The North Korean commander criticizes Major Park and labels him a traitor. Major Park reaches his breaking point and murders him after repeatedly challenging his authority. As hordes of North Korean soldiers push their way to the roof, Cap Jo and Jang Bom shoot every opponent who comes at them from every angle because they are the only ones left. They put everything into the battle and expertly eliminated many North Koreans. They worked well together. While Captain Kang and the few South Korean reinforcements fight outside, he finds Jang Bom on the rooftop with a machine gun and approaches him. Major Park, already inside the school, roams the halls, shooting more student soldiers and ensuring their deaths. Due to their resistance, Cap Jo and Jang Bom both suffer from extreme exhaustion and significant injuries throughout their entire bodies. The final few enemies arrive and repeatedly shoot at Cap Jo, but Jang Bom kills them all. They collapse on the ground, clearly exhausted. Major Park appears on the rooftop just as they believe the battle is over. He sobs as he sees Cap Joe get shot to death. Major Park moves closer to Jang Balm as they square off as captains once more. He complains smugly about Jang Balm's misfortune at being a southerner. Amid his glee, Jang Balm silently loads his rifle that he has been hoarding for a long time. He then shoots at the same time as Major Park. Suddenly, Captain Kang arrives to kill Major Park before he shoots Jang Balm again. Feeling sorry and deeply hurt, Captain Kang cautiously approaches Jang Balm, who feels relief after seeing him. He sobs and expresses his repressed emotions as he dies. Jang Balm eventually loses consciousness and collapses in the arms of Captain Kang, holding onto his mother's handwritten letters. Captain Kang hugs him even tighter as he apologizes for Jang Balm's lifeless body. It turns out that 48 of the 71 students fighting to protect the school died. The movie ends with a flashback. An army photographer takes a group photo of the student soldiers in front of the school. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos like this, and help the channel grow.